Good day, friend. I trust this episode finds you awesome. In this episode, I'm going to discuss a topic that came up in conversation with a friend who I had been guiding, I suppose, in regards to manifestation, helping him to understand so that he can apply it better to his life. And at some point, he actually asked me to manifest something. And when he did this, it occurred to me that a helpful example or a helpful practice would be have him explain to me how to manifest something, because that would display and demonstrate his understanding of the process. And what stood out for his explanation of the process was, after holding it in mind and thinking the thought and doing the visualization, he said, diligently make the effort. Now, this is contrary to your own experience if you examine it. This is contrary to Neville Goddard, if you're familiar with him. It's not your job to diligently make the effort. That doesn't mean that no action is required, but it's two different things. It's two different things. It may seem subtle, but it's important. When you think a sad thought and you create sadness, did you have to make any effort to create that sadness? Or did you just let it come? It naturally came as an expression of the sad thought. When you think a happy thought, do you have to diligently make the effort to create happiness? Or just let it come? Because the happiness is part and parcel of the thought of happiness. The energy, the important part, is the thought. It's the feeling. That's the essential part. That doesn't mean, again, that no action is required. But this is another point where refinement is important. Because to diligently make the effort lacks discernment. When you let it come, so when you hold something in mind that you're intending to manifest, and then you diligently make the effort, you're being very carnal, you're being very physical, you're being very earthly, you're being very external. You're forcing it. Force. Your power actually comes from just providing the energy through thought that manipulates the universe, that influences the universe in order to manifest that expression. So when you think something that you're intending to manifest, instead of being so external and carnal about trying to get it, instead practice this technique instead. Consider this technique instead. Learn to cultivate this response instead. Following God's breadcrumbs. Following Spirit's breadcrumbs. So when something regarding that thing that you're intending to manifest comes into your awareness, at that point, use your intuition. Does it feel right? Is there a pull towards acting in that direction? Is there a pull? That's not a carnal-minded shame, guilt, fear of missing out, nothing like that. Does it feel good to go in that direction? Not led by fear, not led by lack, not led by fear of missing out. Does the pull feel good? Does it feel good in your body? Did it come to you? Or did you force this? Did you diligently investigate everything? That's diligently making the effort. Or did you let it come? When it's coming to you, you know that you're on the right track. And when it comes to you, even if it's just coming to your mind, is there an inspired, in spirit, is there a spiritual pull? Is there an inspiration to go with it that feels good? That feels good. That feels ease. The ego, the carnal, the logical, can't make sense of the illogical, the spiritual. So don't look to comprehend it with your ego and dismiss it. Feel it in your body. Does this feel good? Does this feel right? Does it feel like progress? Or does it actually feel like it's not right? Don't go there. Don't pursue. Check in. Check in. If you're already developing psychic senses, you can do your practice of getting centered. What I teach is take your 3 deep breaths with prolonged, elongated exhales. The elongation of the exhale will promote relaxation in your physicality as well as your mind. And when your mind is relaxed, you're more connected to your source. And you're in that that's how you're promoting the receptive state to ask these questions and ask for direction. Get still and ask Spirit, do I take action regarding this now? If it says no, ask for clarification. If it says yes, you can ask for clarification. Once you're receptive, in the receptive state, you can ask and go wherever you intend to go. So as Neville Goddard would explain, our job is to visualize it as done, visualize the thing that we are intending to manifest and create as already being done. Feel it as though it is already being done. You can include other senses if you like, if that helps you visualize and imagine that it is already done. And then that is the state that you are cultivating. That is, the energy is now working on manifesting that. So long as you don't go back to doubting that it's not manifest already. If you doubt and you start taking your mind to sensing that you do not have this, and you create mental momentum in that direction, then that is what will be affirmed, and that is what will be created. If you could look at your whole life from this perspective, you'd see how all of the things that came to you naturally and came with ease would validate that this works. And all of the things where you spent so much energy and effort in order to attain physically rather than through consciousness, externally, carnally, rather than through spirit. There was so much suffering involved. There was so much negative vibration involved. It was draining, it was exhausting, rather than replenishing. When you go to spirit, when you're connecting to source, you're replenished, you're nurtured. Spirit's your ultimate ally. It is the magic behind manifestation. You know, that non-linear, non-physical source God. Abraham Hicks says, ask and it is given. Not ask and it is, ask and then go and be diligent in your effort to attain and acquire. You know what I mean? Where would the asking even really matter in that scenario? Jesus said, ask and it is given as well, if I do recall correctly. I just paused the episode or the recording for a second and checked, and Jesus actually says, ask and you shall receive. Now, what's not clarified in that moment, from my understanding, possibly it is, but we can ask for suffering and with a mindset of doubt and a mindset of fear, and we also receive that. So we have to refine the mind. We have to refine what's going on. This is what mindfulness is about, my friends. Rather than being reckless and allowing the ego and carnal to manifest and create suffering in our experience, we get to use our consciousness deliberately in order to influence the creation and manifestation in our experience. All right, so this is an important topic, you know. It's we don't spend enough time planting the seeds in consciousness. We often bypass it altogether and start trying to harvest something that hasn't even been planted properly. The harvest is the diligent effort, you know what I mean? The action behind it. Put it in the soil and give it to God. And let God grow it. Let God do the work. Like I said, you can take inspired action as Spirit God brings it to your awareness. If it feels right. If it feels good. All right? We'll leave it there for today, my friends. God bless you. We'll talk soon. If you found this episode helpful, please consider sharing it with those who may be ready for its message or in need of a spiritual perspective. If you're interested in personal guidance, either online or via email, in order to better align your practice and experience, helping you to grow deeper spiritually, psychically, as a conscious creator and manifester, affecting all areas of your life, including health, relationships, and abundance, you may contact me at aswithinsoul@gmail.com. If you're inspired to support my works and expanding endeavors in the form of a donation, that would be greatly appreciated and can be done by e-transfer or PayPal using my email aswithinsoul@gmail.com.